Welcome friends to our next part of the tutorial. In this part of the tutorial, we would be talking about the increment and the decrement operators. They both lies in the arithmetic operators under the arithmetic operators. The reason being that we are discussing this in a different tutorial because they share importance within themselves as they are shorthands. So let's start. Suppose we have an integer I of value 2 and we want to add 1 to the value of I, that is 2 plus 1. Then what are we going to do? We can write that I equals I plus 1. We are adding the 1 value to it, or the same statement can be rewritten as I plus plus or plus plus I. They both means that 1 is added to the variable. These are referred as increment operators. Now let's talk about the decrement operators. They also work in the same way, but in spite of adding the value 1 to I, it subtracts 1 from the variable. Like it is given that I equals I minus 1. The same statement can be rewritten as I minus minus or minus minus I. We would be discussing about the signs that are located before the variable and after the variables after this. So this is what does the simply increment and decrement operators does. Now let us talk about the pre-increment and the decrement operators. Suppose we have an integer I whose value is 2 and another integer b which is uninitialized. We have written that b equals plus plus I. If the increment sign is before the variable, then it is known as the pre-increment. Now what does it does is simply first 1 is added to the I, that is I plus 1. Now the value of I is 3, and after that the value of I is assigned to b. As a result, the value of b is also 3 now, and the value of I is 3. In the same way, the pre-decrement operator also work. It first subtracts 1 from the value of I, then it assigns the value of I to b. If the sign of increment is before the if the sign of increment or the decrement is before the variable, then it is known as the pre-increment or decrement operators. Now let's talk about the post-increment and the decrement operators. We have here an integer I whose value is 5 and an uninitialized integer b. We have written that b equals I plus plus. Here, since the increment operator is after the variable, hence it is known as the post-increment. Now what basically it does is, when we are working with an post-increment operator, then what it simply does is that first it is going to assign the value of I to b, and after assigning the value to b, it would add 1 to the value of I. Hence the value of b would be equals to 5 and the value of I would be 6. In the similar way, the post-decrement operator also work. Here first the value of I is assigned to b. Now the value of b is 5. After that 1 is subtracted from the value of I, that is the value of I is 4. And the post increment and the decrement operator What simply happens is that while assigning an value, first the value is assigned, then the value of the variable is incremented. That was an easy part. Hope you would have loved our videos. If you liked it, then please hit on thumbs up, do subscribe and do share our videos and help us grow. Thanks for watching. Thank you.